everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this video I am happy to announce that for this video I am actually collaborating with 3 other YouTube channels, and there are 4 of us including myself. And let me introduce Simon from Monstergarden, ExpelledMystery, we call her Emmy, and then also Manuel from Treelancer. And this collaboration is a very exciting one. What we ended up doing was quite similar to what the 3 of them, without myself included, did previously. But what's different this time is each of us had to make these cards, and these cards are pretty much like a dice roll. We had to make 10 cards, each of us, of just random things or features that a monster might have. And there are 4 of us, so in total we had 40 different cards. And each of us get to roll like a randomized roll, and we would get a collection of 5 random cards, and these 5 cards are eventually going to be implemented using our own creativity and style into what would be on a monster eventually, although we are also allowed to pick a 6th card of our own choosing. And the bunch of cards that I ended up getting, I could say that I ended up winning, are actually Tumorous Growths and Rock Hard Crystallization, Shaggy Mane, Loose Skin, and Horns. Also, I had to pick one for myself, right? And I picked Exposed Human Teeth. And everybody else, Simon, Emmy, and Manuel, they all won They all won cards of their own, and they have to make their own monster based on the cards that they got, just like me. And I would very much appreciate it if you also checked out their monsters on their YouTube channel. I'll go ahead and leave a link to their channels down in the descriptions below. And I'd really also be very, very happy if you tell them what you think about their monsters. And you don't forget to like and subscribe to their channels and let them know what you think. Links are in the description below once more, and without further ado, and here is my monster. Although usually I would present these things to you myself, right, to you, but I was actually very thorough with what I said in the meeting. I don't think I left anything out, and I think I will just present the meeting as it happened to you as is, because it's actually quite fun anyway. Instead of me just talking to you, it will be me accompanied by 3 other people, and we're all giggling and we're talking to each other. It's quite fun. So here it is. Applications.
There's a button below the chat that says share your screen, and then you choose which kind, if you want a screen or a window.
Oh, screens. Okay, screen 1. Can you guys see this? This is my whole screen, right?
It's loading.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I'll start with my cards. My cards are Tumorous Growths, Rock Hard Crystallization, and Shaggy Mane, Loose Skin, Horns, and Exposed Human Teeth. So I think I'll start by... Yeah, lots of teeth here. I'll start today with... Tumors are fantastic. Everybody loves tumors. And Rock Hard Crystallization, I didn't really implement too much of the rock hard crystallizations into this, but it is in the picture, and it's got lots of shaggy mane, the shaggy mane part, and loose skin, and a little bit of the horn, and also human teeth. But I'll just straight up say, at the time we had the initial meeting, I was sort of obsessed with Sasquatches and Bigfoot. And okay. I also had, Bigfoot, I think to me is actually scary, because to me, the scariest type of monsters are actually ones that look the most like us. And I think that primates are just way scarier looking compared to even lions, because to me, it freaks me out how they look so much like us and they behave so much like us. If they were just a teeny tiny bit smarter, they will pass us like human beings. And the thing that I did was I started to make an ape design, right? I wanted him to have it's not actually a him, it's just both. To have this part and at the center of its head, of the skull, it's like split in half, kind of like a baby. But this one ended up looking too much like Zeke, like the Beast Titan from Attack on Titan. Anybody ever watched that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked too much like kind of like Zeke, right? Except for the big ears. And then I made this, but it looked like way too chimp-like. And I decided to make it look more like a caveman, like a Neanderthal. And then I wanted the teeth to be open, right? So it's like, this is the exposed human teeth part. And it's still too much like a chimp. So I decided to make something like this to accommodate the loose skin part. And this one actually is cooler for me. Like, I really like the look of this one. It's not so much like the Beast Titan. Like, actually, I would have preferred if I could just make it look like the Beast Titan, but Attack on Titan was still big, like really big. So I didn't want people to just think, you just made a rip off of the Beast Titan. So I made this, and this is just the silhouette. So it definitely looks like a person. And it's got the exposed human teeth part and lots of loose skin. And the additional one that I took was exposed human teeth, right? I only had like 5. So. And then these are the horns. And this is still the silhouette version.
Oh, the tumors.
Oh yeah, the tumors.
Yeah, right in the worst area.
This is actually also a tumor. This is the rock hard crystallization part. And he's got these majestic, the bosom, and then his orbs. He's got lots of orbs.
His orbs.
Got a lot of balls. The balls in that game.
lots of spherical thingies. Because like 2 or 3 isn't enough. You gotta have a lot. And then some. They also just hang, right? And I'll show you the rendered version. Oh, hang on. This is the actual close-up of the orbs. So what this ape uses it for is to find prey. Kind of like I think I read somewhere that a T-Rex can sort of just sense vibrations and electricity in the air to find prey, and they use like something like sound vibrations to find prey. So you can never truly escape from these things. And these thingies, the tumorous growths that this creature has, it emits electricity and it can actually find prey. And also, if it finds you, it can stun you, so you can't do anything. And this is the rendered version.
Oh no.
Oh goodness.
Oh no, those
Wait, it got
those
electric balls?
Oh
yeah. And this is the close-up, right? And I just think
we don't need the
mushroom.
because this is the part that makes me worry about, like, is this even gonna be okay if I put this up on YouTube? Like, this got me really worried.
I think it's fine.
Yeah,
Because
it's
if I don't
okay.
really want to talk about it much on when I make my own like edit, I think I'll just like leave it up to like suggestions, like no matter whatever the viewers want to see them as. And I also made like a scale comparison.
The scale.
Oh no.
Yeah, and this thing's actually big.
Oh,
And I call it the gasping ape.
right up to the balls. Huh?
The gasping ape. So it doesn't actually make a sound. Makes no sound.
Uses its balls to detect prey.
Louder breathing. So all it does is just get like breathe louder. Like if it thinks it's gonna find you, it's gonna breathe louder. It's gonna go like.
No.
Like that's like so scary.
No.
Scary.
No, but it's not actually scary to three of us, right? Because we have dogs. I mean,
no, but I don't have a dog that looks like this.
Wait, witnessing one makes you ill.
yeah,
That
it does.
just looking at one makes you ill. Amazing.
Yes, because
It's ill. I mean, it's working.
That's
it's
amazing.
working. Like,
it's actually
looking at the
inspired by a local. Because I'm from Indonesia, right? We actually have our own version of Bigfoot, and it's said that if you see one of these things, you just get really sick for 3 days. Like you just don't feel good. Like you gotta stay in bed for 3 days because you just can't get up. You feel really sick, and it's not actually like the local folklore one. It's not actually an actual creature. It's more like a supernatural entity. Like it's something you can sort of see it, but they're not here all the time, and they can appear whenever they want. And the gasping ape. it's covered in long matted hair, so as you can see, right, like I made all that hair really long, kind of like an orangutan. Like, sorry to the orangutan, no offense. But it also emits a foul stench because I tried to make him look green, like a sloth. Like it's all mossy because this thing never takes a bath. And look at the, it's like all green.
Oh no, it's shiny. Oh no.
Lots of just unwashed parts. And it uses its spherical organs to detect prey. It's known to play with its victims. It's like it's witnessing one's illnesses, right? And what's scary to me is this thing just looks unhealthy. But since it's so tall, it's got long limbs. It's definitely stronger than like the world's biggest bodybuilders. I just think that's the really scary part about this. And it's got this one shoulder just sort of hunched because it's growing this massive tumor on its back. And it's also more tumors coming out of its left arm. And you can guess what it does with those things, even though it's actually got actual hands, right? But he's got extra features coming out of this thing. And they're able to face into another plane. What I had in mind is, I don't really have a world of my own, right? But after making this, I did think, I should be, like at least start with a village that is just surrounded by all these like weird monsters. Unfortunately, like they just live such tough lives. And they are few in number, but everywhere. And it's kind of like how that way people just look at Bigfoot. Like nobody ever sees Bigfoot, but everybody talks about them. That's the kind of concept that I had in mind. And then they're never seldom found in human settlements, which means that even though they can phase into another plane, they can sort of just remain safe for the rest of their lives if they like. But they like it in the human world so much, they actually like to be here more often than in their own world. And it wears a terrifying smile resembling that of a human's. Here we go.
Nah, it's charming.
Look at that. With this loose skin.
Handsome smile.
That could be dried blood or something. Oh, and also these arrows. This like proof that people have tried to attack this thing, but it just doesn't care. It's wounded all over. It just doesn't give a fuck. It just tries to chase you and find you and kill more people. It just doesn't care at all.
You gotta hit it in the spherical object, man.
Maybe. Yeah. That's a cool idea. I should do that.
Spherical object.
Maybe you can just splash water on its balls and it'll just die because it's electric.
Oh my god. That's why he doesn't wash them.
Yeah.
The lore is building up, man.
You figured out its weakness.
Yeah, anyway,
you gotta wash your spherical objects. You gotta turn them off before, Doesn't everyone?
That's about it from mine.
Yeah. Very cool, man. Very creepy.
Alright, thank you.
Very fucked up.
Disgusting in a very good way.
Alright, so that was it for my monster. I was actually quite terrified drawing this one. I didn't want to spend overly long drawing this more than necessary because it's just quite a scary thing to even look at, and I don't really like to think about like something that instills fear in me for an overly long period of time more than necessary, like it's good enough to stay inspired by thinking about it, but it's just if I render this out and I stretch it out a little too long and draw this for days and days and days, I think I will end up having nightmares. So I actually like finished this in like 3 hours, I think. And I really enjoyed what we did. Everybody got together and we made something really cool, right? And everybody, they got their own cards and they had to make their own monsters, and their designs are very, very cool. And I'm very grateful that we've done this, because I'm actually a bit of an introvert. All I do is just draw and I draw and I draw. I don't actually have a group of art friends. I don't even think I know of anyone interested in just art scenes, like I don't know if it's like an Indonesian thing. It's just I don't really know anybody like that. So having a bunch of art friends come out of thin air pretty much is actually just quite a nice thing to have. And it definitely showcases a lot of skill from each of us. And this feels to me bit of like a classroom sort of scenario where I had to try my best to get that top score so I'll pass the exam and not fail. And I did feel nervous. There was a lot of nervousness, a lot of nerves while I had to draw this. A lot of expectations, like self-imposed expectations, because I know the three of them are just such great artists. But after all of that, once we presented each of our own monsters, I just realized how every single one of ours, of ourselves and our art is just so unique. And whether we like it or not, I think it ended up looking like something that each of us would definitely draw. Like Simon's art definitely looks like it would be like something Simon would come up with. The same with Emmy and Manuel. And I learned a lot about my own non-existent style, because I used to think I don't really have much of a style, right? And by doing this, I learned a lot about that air quotes non-existent style, which is actually very real. Like I actually do have a style, and it's very obvious because I had to put it up right next to other people's drawings side by side in a sort of comparison thing, but not really comparing. And the differences really show. Like, for example, I don't know if you feel the same way about Simon from Monstergarden, but his art, it looks like it's just about to reach the cosmic horror realm, but it's still, it remains still earthly. Like, the things that he draws are always so detailed and intricate, and like you could even say is heavily ornamental, but all of it somehow looks grimy and horrific at the same time. Like as if all the concepts that he comes up with, it will never truly seem too ludicrous, even though it's definitely fantasy, because none of it's real, it's all fantasy. But somehow all of its concepts seem like it would make us think about pain, and like, because all the things that he draws somehow either seems like it can inflict a lot of pain on us, or they actually look like they're in pain, at least to me. And pain is very real. Everybody knows about pain. Pain sucks. And I think that in that sense, it makes his drawings feel relatable. And Manuel's a wizard. He looks like the art that he did, his monster, it should definitely belong in an epic fantasy world, just like D&D or like Middle Earth. And as if I were to just log into an MMO right now, it would already seem like a huge monster that's approved by the art director, and that's already something that I would have to fight in the game. You know, and Emmy's also has a unique twist. Hers looks scary and gloomy and sad, and to me very relatable, because in the meeting when she mentioned that she was inspired by folklore for this particular drawing, it immediately clicked for me. It just made sense, because if you haven't known, her rendering is very skillful. Like, she really rendered her out, and it made it seem like it's something that would already exist in a folklore book somewhere if I were to just look inside, you know. Or it would be in the Witcher game, or it would even exist in an actual folklore somewhere in some foreign country. Like, also, I don't know if you've played this games called Persona, like any Persona game. I feel like if I were to just open up the encyclopedia thing that Persona games have, what's it called? Persona, I think it's called a Velvet Room. Like, it's like a room that you can go into where you can just browse all of your like personas, as they call it, the game calls it. It's actually just a collection of monsters. Like, I would see hers in it, so it's really great that way. So anyway, that's it for my monster. I really do suggest once more for you to visit their channel so you can check out their monsters, and don't forget to like and subscribe on their channels too. Let them know what you think about their monsters down in the comment section below. And finally, all of this has been quite lighthearted, right? The whole meeting even was quite fun. I enjoyed it, but let me just give you a little segment where you can look at my monster in a sort of atmospheric environment that I will impose on you, and hopefully you will feel terrified looking at it. So Without further ado, I will say goodbye for now, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.